Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on a handful of push mowers. I've got about 6 of them, I think, in various states of running that I've acquired over the summer. And right now it is early February, so the goal is to get all of them good, working, running, nice operating condition. So that way once the ground thaws out enough and people are starting to think about mowing their lawns, that I'll have a bunch of these just ready to sell. Make some quick money on it because, people will go to start at the beginning of the year. Theirs won't work. Easy flips right there. So we're going to spend some time getting these up and running, nicer condition. This one here, I believe it did run whenever I picked it up. It's been a while, I don't really remember. But we're missing the air filter and the cover for that. So we'll have to see about finding that maybe. Or if not, price will reflect that. But let's just give this a quick look over here. First, we're going to see if we've got any gas in the tank, which we do, or we at least have some clear liquid. Whether it's gas, to be determined. But I guess we will give this a couple primes and give her a yank, see what she does. Hopefully it just starts. Our pull cord not wanting to retract, so that's nice. Might have to look into that a little bit. Not good. Well, that gives us the first thing to work on. Just got 3 bolts here on the top. So we can pop those off and check underneath also, just make sure there's not any critter nests. Doesn't seem too bad. A little dirty under here. You can see. Not the best, but also not the worst. Let's see what we can do to make this retract a little easier. I'm just going to try squirting some lube in there. It feels like it's still under spring tension. It just seems to be binding up a little bit. But I have no idea where to be spraying this, so we're just going to kind of figure it out. Now we'll give it some yanks and see if it does any better. There we go. I would say that is the improvement we needed. Wonderful. We'll put that back on for now. Probably take it off and blow some compressed air later, pretty it up a little bit, but for right now, just want to make sure it runs. Lost all my screws doing that. Two won't hold it, 3 never would. We're gonna try again now. See if it runs. Maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like that. Tried to do something. Just give it some extra prime. guess the next thing we can do is check for spark. Luckily on this mower, it's very easy. It's just hanging out up front here. Nice. Almost came off a little too easy. Maybe it wasn't all the way on there. Other than being covered in cobwebs, doesn't look too bad, a little oily. Actually, there's no gap on it. We'll get that cleaned up and see if that solves it. Just gonna wipe it down with a shop rag here. Get all those other icky things out the way. Looks pretty good. It might have just been a little too carboned up. We'll see if we got a spark now. See if I can do this in some way where we can see it. Oh yeah. Hopefully that's showing up on camera. There we go, yeah. Good strong spark. Alright. We will now reinstall that. And if I can find the hole. Fellas, can you relate to that? But we'll get that back in there and see if we got anything. Don't want to over tighten it. It's just going into aluminum. Alrighty, take 3. Just see if maybe spraying anything in the intake we get any sort of combustion. Alright, that's a good sign. We are getting good spark, and it will run when it is forced to have fuel, but that means that the carburetor is not carbureting. Alright. So at this point, we are going to go ahead and get that carburetor off of there. Give you guys some light so you see what's happening. And we'll take a look at that, get it cleaned up, functional again, or replace it if need be. That's great, it's just spinning. Oop, wrong way. Yeah. So Torx, do we have 3 different styles of fastener on here? It'd be pretty epic. Yes, there is a Torx bit down there. It's not that size. Might actually be an Allen. After much struggling, I believe we have finally selected the correct size. Would you look at that? I'm gonna scrounge around later and see if I can find any matching hardware because that sucks. Just gonna pull on this housing here while I try to unscrew this because it's just spinning. Nothing. No idea where this goes. We're gonna pop off the top of this again and see if we can get a better angle on what we're trying to work on. Wrong one. We'll get you out of the way. At some point we're gonna have to find that missing bolt. Don't have the slightest idea where it went. Alright, so while we spin this, what is happening on the backside? There is no backside, it is simply spinning in place. Oh, we need to pull out this bolt. Didn't see it. Very sneaky. Now, we should be able to actually put some pressure on here and get this off. There we go. And just like that, our carburetor is free. Now, these style ones, there's nothing actually holding them on. They just kind of pull out of here. Very interesting design. And then all you have to do is unhook the fuel line and watch that fall off. And take off the throttle linkage. We will just pop off said fuel line. See if we can wiggle out that linkage maybe. We're gonna have to spill gas everywhere. Might see if I can pull this tank off. There we go. It just lifts up. And that will make it easy to take our fuel line off, or carb linkage. And now we can just, hopefully there's not too much in here, we just stand this vertical. Remove our carb. Maybe. Oh, she's really on there. Alright, so we'll leave that sitting like that because it's not spilling. And we'll get this on the bench and take a look at it. Alrighty, got the carb out, got it on the bench here. So we're just going to take it apart, and I'm not even really going to look at it too intense. We're just going to throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner, and I'm sure that will probably clear it out and fix our problem. Unless something major is wrong here, I doubt it though. Well, I bet it's just a little bit gummed up, and Once we get everything properly cleaned, that it's just gonna fire right up and work no problem. Ta-da! Oh man, you see that color? Just foul there. Gross. Might even have been some water. Hard to tell. But that's why we're pulling it apart and cleaning it. Making sure we get rid of all the ick, and she should have run like a top after that. So we'll just get this wiped down. We don't want to, you know, put too much crud into the ultrasonic. So the cleaner it gets once it goes in, the better. And then to take this carb apart, just got to pull the float here. These ones just pop out. It doesn't even go through. Just pry it up like that. Take the float out. Our needle's in there, not seized. Looks good. And then we will just clean this up the best we can and throw her in there and let the machine do its magic. Hopefully the mic isn't picking up the ultrasonic noise too much, but while that's running, we're not going to waste any time. We're going to use the compressed air and just get all the cobwebs and shit out of this. It just looks bad, it's gross, dirty, no need for it, so we're going to get this all cleaned up. Alrighty, got that ultrasonic cleaner done. So I'm gonna take all of our stuff out. Should be nice and clean now. We'll give it a good thorough blowout and inspection though, and should be ready to reassemble after that. And so we're just gonna blow all that symbol green out of there. So we got water in it, so we obviously don't want that running through. Now we will just hit it with a little bit of carb cleaner here. Ignore what it says. And that should clean it out nicely. Get rid of any of that simple green that might be hanging out still. And then we are ready for reassembly. Take our needle here, sits nicely in this groove. If I hold it the right way, but it locks in there so it can then hang. Oop. Hard to get on camera at this angle, but once it's hanging, you simply drop it into the seat. Just like that. And then we can run this bar through it, and that's where it hinges on, and make sure the float stays where it belongs. And then since this one just snaps in, we'll just have to press down on it, and now it's in there. And it, oops. Anyway, Alright, we got this back together with the carb cleaned, fuel's in it. Should be ready to rip. We'll see if she fires it up. Try priming it a little extra bit. I'm going to try dumping some fresh fuel in there. I have no idea how old this is, so we'll see if that helps it any. Alright, we got fresh gas in there now. I'm going to give it a shot of the brake clean again. And see if she'll pop off. It just does not want to stay running. We're clearly getting no fuel. Alright, we're back, hopefully for the last time. Ended up taking the carb off to look at it and saw there was a bunch of water in it. And then took a second look at the fuel tank again and realized that there was copious amounts of water sitting in the bottom there. So I drained the gas that I had in there. Which, let's just see. No, there's nothing. Oh, there is a little bit visibly sitting on the bottom. I can't get you at an angle to see that, but you can see all the wet stains here from what ended up blowing out of the fuel tank. A bunch of droplets on the floor. So hopefully with that out of the way now, it will run. It was running poorly after I shut the camera off. It surged very badly, and I had to choke it with a towel in order to let it even run. So hopefully that's just due to a bunch of water. So we'll see what happens. That's promising. Wants to live. Well, at this point, we might just be ordering a carb for it. Really does not seem to want to pull fuel on its own. Well, it was earlier though, so we'll try choking it with the towel and see if it runs. say we're gonna move on to the next one and just order a carb and a air filter and housing off of the good old Amazon. Alright, it is the next day. We are back on this red mower here, and parts just came in off of Amazon. Able to get 2 new air filters. So the second one, I've got another mower with the same engine as this. I'm gonna put on that other mower. Carb was good on that one, so that'll get a fresh air filter. But then this one will get the fresh air filter. We've got the missing cover that we need, so that's nice. And then it also comes with a fresh spark plug, a primer bulb here, obviously the carburetor, and just some other miscellaneous tubes and gaskets that we're probably not going to need. So I'm going to get that installed here, and then this thing should run like a top and be ready to sell. And this whole kit only cost me just shy of 20 bucks, which is really nice. So shout out to Amazon for that. Successfully got that carburetor swapped out, so we're gonna see if this new one works. It was running. I don't think I got it on video. Very poorly. It kept surging and stuff. After I had messed with it further off camera, but not enough for me to be happy with. So we'll see how this does. I would say that seems to be running great, and time to move on to the next project. Thanks for watching.